Hi, this is Grant Kataska. We're doing an interview. It is April 10th, 2010.
My name is LySanias Broyles.
Where were you born?
I was born in a rural area called Hickman, Kentucky.
Where do you live now?
I live at 3035 Eastern Avenue, Davenport.
How long have you lived in Iowa?
Well, I first came to Iowa in 1952, and I went back to school and then to military, and I came back in 1958. So continuously since 1958.
1958. What brought you to Iowa?
Well, I had a first cousin. We were the same ages, and we kind of swapped visits. And I came here and I liked it here, so when I came out of school, I came back to make it my residence.
Now, you said you went to school. What school did you go to? Where at?
I went to a rural school in Kentucky, and I moved to a larger city by the name of Paducah, Kentucky, and I graduated from Lincoln High School in Paducah. And by the time I became a senior, we got drafted out for the military at 18. Everybody was 18. Was drafted into the military. Well, we got a stay of execution. We got deferred for 1 year. So I attended West Kentucky Vocational School. I graduated from there in 1954. And from there, I went into the Navy, volunteered into the Navy.
Now, the school you went to, it was segregated?
In Kentucky, yes. Black teachers, black students, and everything was segregated. Matter of fact, they used to say, they have an old saying that African American students were not as brilliant as the white students. Well, the system was designed to be that way, and what would happen, if you had a white school cross over here, they would get the latest edition of books, and we would get the ones that they had before, maybe 2 or 3 years before. And I have been sitting in classroom where we have 2 or 3 different editions of books. Went on the same pages, but the teachers were dedicated to see, they knew the problems. And if you wanted to better yourself, you could learn. But it was designed to be 1 year behind the white students because our books were not up to the latest dates. And that was, I witnessed something. Matter of fact, I was one of the, we were one of the blessed students because my parents forced me to get my education. And so we had to learn, so we got the better books. Our band instruments, they were passed down from the whites, and our band leader, he would sterilize all the instruments, the mouthpieces and stuff like that. And but we had the best band.
Now, on the segregated schools, like, were you not able to go to the other schools, or did people just choose it that way?
No, it was against the law.
Really?
It was a law that you could not go to the same schools. Matter of fact, we used to pass a white school to go way out on the edge of the railroad tracks to the edge of the woods where they had a little 2-room schoolhouse built for blacks. That's where we went, and it bused the white kids, and we had to walk. Either my father always maintained some type of transportation; he would carry us. And we have a commencement exercises. They would be 2 different places at the same different times.
Now, when you were in school, were you the only one feeling this, that it wasn't right? Or, like, did you have some friends that thought as you were?
Yes, there were several. Well, most everybody felt the same way. Well, it was a way of life, and we didn't have any way of fighting it, because something would usually happen to you if you got too vocal back in those days, like in the 40s. You probably heard of a lynch where they would come and maybe snatch a boy away from his home at night, and the mob would kill him or something like that. And you had to be very kind of close-lipped. And that's where a lot of time our church would come into play, because a lot of time the churches have a lot of meetings, and instead of having church service, they'd be talking about the racial problems, and nobody ever suspected that until somebody ran off at the mouth and exposed them. Then they would stop that. They started seeking around our churches and things, see what was going on in our churches, you know, and come into our neighborhoods. If I was a leader of the group, they started looking at me and watching me and giving me a hard time. And sometimes it gets so violent they would kill you.
Describe the role of an African American church in your community.
Well, my church, the church I attend, is Mount Olive Church of God in Christ at 1020 Ripley Street. We try to take a positive viewpoint of the issues, and we don't, I guess we just don't, I'm trying to think of a word. We know there's a problem, but we don't allow that to be a hindrance. We try to educate our young people to get your education, get involved with things that's important. And we know that things are still not 100%, but my small church I go to, I suppose that the education level from high school to college is about 90%. And we think that's very good, and the young people there are involved in a lot of things. But the role of the church, I feel, in separating church and state is to worship God. And a lot of the other training you get at home and at school.